Geminis, welcome to April 2018. I hope you guys had a really lovely March. We got not so much going on in the sky as last month, but we still have quite a bit. We have two planets that are going retrograde. And if you guys don't know already, we're in a Mercury retrograde right now, and Mercury retrograde really affects Geminis because they're ruled by the planet Mercury. So what just happened was a full moon in Libra on the 31st, on March 31st, and what that did is it brought up a lot of relationship issues that you need to clear. So whatever you're feeling around the full moon, the 31st, and even still to like, you know, a week after, I still feel it, especially if you have a lot of Libra in your chart. This is really the time to just flow through it. You know, who really bugged you during the full moon in Libra? Which relationship are you realizing that, okay, what is this teaching me? If I haven't learned my lesson yet, it's time to just let go. So that's what's been going on recently. Mercury goes direct April 15th, but the shadow period lasts until like May 3rd. So you still want to be really careful with your travel, your communication style, double checking everything before you press send. I've messed up already so many times with the Mercury retrograde. I'm not even gonna admit how that worked out for me, but Mercury retrograde is no joke. April 15th, we have a new moon in Aries, so that's an excellent energy to start, you know, bringing in what you want, like things that you want to start, new pilots, new initiatives, something that really requires you to be fearless and dynamic and kind of a pioneer. So just go for it during that new moon in Aries. And then April 17th, we have Saturn going retrograde. So Saturn is that planet of test and limitations and restrictions, but also lessons to be learned. Like it's called like the father planet, you know, that kind of looks down on you and says, oh yeah, you want that? Okay, you gotta work, bitch. You gotta do what you gotta do. So Saturn goes retrograde, which means that all that working and all that restriction is gonna be internalized. We're gonna get a lot more serious. And that lasts until like September 6th. So it's going to be a fun summer, but also we're also going to have that energy to kind of get serious and get to work, which is good because depending on where you live, I know personally in Canada, during the winter, I don't want to do anything. And then in the summer, I don't want to work. I just want to have fun. So it's good energy if you work with it. The Pluto goes retrograde on April 22nd. So Pluto is the planet of transformation and, you know, inner work and obsession and all those taboo subjects like sex, death, taxes, other people's money, where you get your money from, loans, all that stuff that people don't really like to talk about. So that's all going to be internalized where, you know, you're going to get, depending on where it hits your chart, of course, that's all going to go inward and you're going to start to feel a little bit obsessed inward and like you want to make some major transformations. And then April 24th, Venus enters the Gemini sign, which means you guys are going to be feeling really good, really pretty, really lovely, really want to get yourself out there and express yourself in a very romantic and loving way. Lastly, on April 29th, we have a full moon in Scorpio. And I'm 8 months pregnant, and I bet you on April 29th, I'm going to go into labor, and that's my baby shower. So I think people are going to be witnessing the miracle of birth at the baby shower because I'm not missing that cake for anything. So I don't even care if I'm in labor. I'll do it right there. Okay, so that's what's going on in the sky. Now we will get started on the actual reading, and then at the end of the video, I'll talk to you guys about the promotion I'm putting out for the last month before I give birth, just to kind of, you know, give back to my subscribers and give back to all my viewers. I am putting out free photo readings, so we'll talk more about that at the end. But let's get started on the actual reading. So this is for Geminis, April 2018. And nothing's popped out, so the way that I understand that, the way that I've kind of come to understand that, is that your subconscious is doing okay. There's nothing dire that your subconscious is like, Gemini, you need to know, because nothing is really popping out. But still, we're going to force it. Okay. So, the theme of this reading, like I always say every month, my father-in-law is a Gemini and I live with him, so it's funny when I see these things, I'm just like, I know who this is. So a fire sign, a Queen of Wands person. That's what the theme is about. So somebody, I'll describe this person to you. It's not necessarily a female, but it has the female energy. So probably more feminine than you are in a lot of ways, or based on their sign, they could be more of the feminine type, okay? So this person you had an ending with that broke their heart, but they're still around. They're still in your aura. They're very nitpicky, like very detail-oriented, like really kind of, they comb through things a lot. I'm seeing a T. Oh, I'm seeing a T, an R, and an E in their name, and in the first, middle, and or last name, or maiden name even. And there's somebody from your past. They're definitely somebody from your past. They have a lot. They have a lot of abundance, but I think because they're so focused on the future and like other things, they don't even recognize how much abundance they actually have. And I think spiritually, the universe has been trying to deliver to them, but they won't just fully grasp that abundance and optimism and just be like, you know, I'm blessed. They have incredible intuition, but there's cracks in their intuition where they don't follow their gut enough. And they have a little bit of a fiery temper that, you know, I'm seeing like this fiery temper that's masking gold. So either they outlet a lot of their energy through buying shiny things, or, you know, they mask this fiery temper through like materialistic gains, like something that really has something to do with gold. And there's something about this person where people put them on a pedestal. I'm also seeing smoke, so they've either been been smokers in the past, or, you know, they're surrounded by smoke, or, you know, they have a negativity to them, or there's just like a haze around them, and that is coming from a male person in their life. Like there's some sort of smoke when it comes to a male. It could even be, you know, they lost somebody on their father's side to lung cancer, something like that, where it's some sort of smoke, and that's really outlined a lot of their life and a lot of their masculine energy. So maybe what it is the smoke when it comes to their masculine energy is a haze, and that's why they're way more feminine as opposed to masculine. And when I mean feminine to masculine, without being sexist, like not being sexist at all, like I'm pro, you know, but feminist aspects, or female aspects, are more, you know, passive, where masculine is more like alpha, more go-getter, so more like that, maybe a little bit more passive because of this haze when it comes to their masculinity. Okay, so that's the theme of this reading, this Queen of Wands, and something shifting within that relationship. Something shifting and wanting that shift, because you know that in the end it's going to end up being a positive thing. But really just wanting things to end and new beginnings to come in. Really wanting to force that shift, because you've built a lot for yourself, and you've really been building up your reputation as well. Like people are starting to look up to you in a positive and creative way. And you know that this relationship with the Queen of Wands is really just pinning you down. You know, you intuitively know that this person is pinning you down and using you and taking from you. You have a lot of opportunities for growth, but with this person here, this Queen of Wands, you got to move on, because it may seem supportive and it may feel like they could be your soulmate, but they're taking a lot. They're taking a lot, and it is time to move on, to completely rebirth yourself and bring back your reputation, because this person is killing your reputation. And even if they are your soulmate, the way that I understand soulmates is they come into our lives just to put us back on our soul path, just to be like, okay, what lesson do I need to learn? And then you move on. You know, when you linger, that's when a soulmate, it can get very hard. It can get very, very hard when you linger with that soulmate. It's the twin flame that you want to fight for. The soulmate, come into my life. What do you have to teach me? What am I learning from you? Okay, bye-bye. You know, hopefully I don't see you in another lifetime. But when it comes to the twin flame, that's a little different. And a lot of the times we can get stuck with our soulmates because, you know, we feel this amazing connection and this bond with them. And then we end up losing our happiness because we're stagnant. We didn't use the lessons of our soulmate in order to advance our soul. We're actually using it in the opposite effect, where it's holding us back. Okay, so that's the theme of the reading. Queen of Wands, Time to move on. Killing your reputation. Be reborn. Move on with your power. Let's do this, okay? So, I think the reason why there is a fear of moving on from this Queen of Wands is because there is a little bit of stress and worry about money and power / security going on. So either this Queen of Wands has helped you financially, or there's something about them where they make you feel secure. You know, they could just make you feel powerful or powerless. They could, and power means whatever it means to you. You know, it could be financial, emotional, sexual, spiritual, intellectual power. Whatever this Queen of Wands does for your power stance, that's what you're afraid of losing when it comes to moving on from this person. The obstacle and the aid to this is somebody else. A Queen of Swords is another person. Some other female energy that is either a Libra, has Libra, Aquarius, or Gemini energy. This person is going to help you gain back that power that the Queen of Wands stripped from you, especially in the past. But it's also going to be kind of difficult to do that. It's going to be an obstacle as well. It's not going to be an easy flow. Like I said, you're going to have to work a little bit. You're going to have to actually actively walk away in every way, shape, or form, okay? So, should I describe the Queen of Wands? Seeing an N or an H in their first, middle, or last name. And they are very transformative. There's a child near them. I don't know if this child is a past child or, you know, somebody that's just really close to them. Yeah, I'm really seeing, I'm thinking maybe it's a child who's been lost. This person you love to talk with. This person you love to talk with. And this person loves to take baths. Like, I'm definitely seeing like the clawfoot tub, you know, where it's like a nice experience for them to actually like get into some sort of water. So it might not be baths per se, but some sort of water. This person really opens you up spiritually, and this person's been alone for quite some time. This person either is alone in their mind, alone on their journey, or alone in general. And, you know, they're definitely focused. They're definitely more forward thinking than the Queen of Wands. The Queen of Wands, you know, forward thinking, but not really. Forward and past thinking. Like, Queen of Wands has more of a skewed view on life than the Queen of Swords. And I think that's what's really needed for you to understand what's going on when it comes to gaining back your power, when it comes to this feminine, fiery energy, okay? So subconsciously, you got new feelings forming, new feelings coming in that are contributing to this fear of change and change of your security, okay? So new feelings are forming this month. We're like, okay, and these feelings are pure. These feelings are coming from the heart. Your heart has been like pounding on your head, being like, listen to me, but your head is saying, you know, especially with Mercury retrograde, all those thoughts are just flooding in. It's time to get a silent moment, even for just 10 minutes a day, to really listen to what the universe is trying to tell you and not analyze everything and not really think it through. Just give yourself a silent 10 minutes where you're not thinking about everything that's going on in the world, so you can really honor these new feelings that are emerging this month. Because you're thinking that, you know, it's balanced here. You're thinking that it's like, okay, maybe if I just stay where I'm at, even though your heart is saying there's new feelings emerging, your head's saying, well, I'm not going to make any major decisions. I'm not making any major changes because I'm terrified of losing that sense of security, even though the Queen of Swords is still, you know, lingering around waiting for you, and your reputation and your power is waiting for you to really transform yourself. You're thinking, okay, well, the water's fine here, you know? I can just kind of chill here. I'm balanced. I'm stable here. So, but especially with the Temperance card, you realize that if this angel just turned around and walked forward, you know, and made some movements, look at that light at the end of the tunnel. Okay, so you've been making some sacrifices, for sure. Making a lot of sacrifices. Okay, let's see. You right now, you're manifesting hardcore. I'm going to say something that's probably going to really bother you. and I've said it to quite a few people, and when I first heard it, it really bothered me too. But based on the law of attraction, like, it's something that I've been really realizing a lot more. What you think you become. So your life is a product of what you've been thinking about. Like, you've created your world. And I know that sometimes, you know, that can be really frustrating here, especially when we hear about the bad things in our world. Like, well, I didn't bring that in. In a way you did. You know, my sister-in-law once asked me about that. She's like, so starving kids in Africa, like, they decided that. And I'm like, you know, I've watched a lot of documentaries, and a lot of the times, you know, those happy projects, you start to see that the starving kids in Africa actually are happier than a lot of the rich people in America. You know, they're not, they're actually happier, and there's other ways. You know, that's how we learn our lessons. You know, they work hard for the food, and they're so grateful for the food that they eat, as opposed to us, who, when we have it in abundance and a supply, we take it for granted. You know, when's the last time you ate something without even looking at what you're eating and, like, showing gratitude and, like, actually tasting the flavors and the textures and realizing, like, wow, this is something incredible. Especially, we just had Easter. I'm like, I felt guilty. I'm like, I am so full that I feel guilty because there's so many people that they don't have this, you know, and we have leftovers for days, you know. So things like that, we start to realize, like, yeah, we bring it into our aura. And a lot of the times, in those starving countries, that's the karma of the country. That's what the country, the energy of the country kind of brings it all into the individual person, and that's what they're learning to grow from, as opposed to us, we're learning completely different lessons. So keep that in mind when you're thinking about whatever you're thinking about. You're creating your world through those thoughts, okay? Especially this month. Especially this month. So if you feel like you need Queen of Wands in order to feel secure, guess what? You're going to need Queen of Wands in order to feel secure. Family and friends have new money coming in. That's good. So keep that in mind also. They have new power. They have that power there that you're scared of losing with the Queen of Wands. You can gain it through another source. If you're feeling really stressful there, especially because you're manifesting so hard right now, your family and friends are going to want to help you out, especially if it means that you can completely sever yourself from this Queen of Wands. Because I think family and friends, they want you to find your power back. They're like, come on, Gemini, you know, do what you need to do. Empower yourself, get rid of this Queen of Wands, move on with your power, and they'll help. So all it really is just about asking for that help. Hope and fear is the masculine energy of the Queen of Wands. So you hope that the Queen of Wands starts to find, you know, remove that haze in their life and find their masculine side and really get to do what they need to do. But you also fear it because you're like, what does that mean for me? Like, what is that going to entail? So that's something that should be definitely acknowledged and cleared. You want them to get more complete and stable, but I think in a way a little bit you kind of like that there hasn't been this change, that there hasn't been this shift, and that they kind of want you. But where does that leave the Queen of Swords? You know, this person who, is it just because you've made so many sacrifices for the Queen of Wands, you feel like it'd be kind of, you know, pointless to just throw it all away for the Queen of Swords? Last card, Gemini, is fairness. In the end, for April 2018, it's all going to balance out. First step is recognizing that you haven't really made any movements. You haven't really made any movements. It may feel like you have, but emotionally and, like, thought-wise and your beliefs, you haven't really made many movements. And because of that, it's creating the balance and the fairness that needs to happen in order to shift what's going on. And that's going to lead to this King of Cups type person, this masculine, more masculine energy, emotional, definitely emotional, could be a Scorpio, Pisces, or Cancer, or just embody that type of energy. As usual, loves sweets, looks great in red, like there's something about red on this person. I'm also seeing red eyes, so, you know, depending on where you live, if pot's legal, or maybe even it's just any addiction where it kind of, you know, creates those red eyes. I personally, when I think of red eyes, I think about, like, an alcoholic, because I like my dad has a little bit of a drinking problem. a little bit. And I just remember as a kid, like waking him up like mid-bender and his eyes just being beet red and him just being like, oh my God. I'm like, wow, that's your hangover. So it could be somebody that either, you know, is into the drugs and alcohol, escapism, you know, no judgment at all. And it really just is from a rocky past, and they're actually quite positive, quite optimistic, and they're moving up in the world a lot. They're moving up in the world. So the way I'm understanding it is that's somebody that you can go to as well in order to gain the power that you may feel like you're losing from the Queen of Wands. So the first step is recognizing that you haven't really made any profound changes. And because of that, you're getting what you deserve, essentially. You're getting what you asked for and what you created. And that is bringing in more of the King of Cups energy in order for you to really realize what you've done. This King of Cups is going to kind of just let you know what it is when it comes to the fact that you haven't moved on. You haven't made any forward movement. And with the new feelings that are emerging and the Queen of Swords still here, it is time. It is definitely time. Okay. Especially with your birthday coming up. You know, like you want to spend another year, especially if this is a big birthday, you want to spend another year under the thumb of the Queen of Wands. Okay, so what do Geminis need to know for April 2018 to help them on their journey? Okay. My favorite card. Believe in yourself. You have the strength to keep yourself up. You have the strength to lift yourself out of this situation. This person's alone, but their reflection is like them, their whole self. Like there's no haze over the reflection. This person sees themselves very clearly, very confident in who they are. And they believe that whatever is going on, they have the power of the universe in order to protect them and help them when it comes to any forward movements or changes that they need to do, okay? So that is your reading. Now let me talk quickly about the free photo readings. Okay, so I started this last month with about 7 signs. And now I'm offering it for the remainder 5 signs. Sorry. For the remainder 5 signs. Jeez, oh my gosh. Sorry, I have pregnancy brain, but also I wasn't good at math before the pregnancy, so I'm just blaming it on the pregnancy now. But okay, so I'm offering it for the remaining 5 signs. What I'm asking you to do is send me your picture with an open heart, open mind. Don't think about the picture you send, just send it, because everything is divine. You know, everything is exactly how it's supposed to be. My email address is below. Also, if you want a personal reading, email address is below. I always include astrology and numerology in all my tarot readings. The free photo reading will be a small blurb, and I'll get to you within the month, I promise. Before I was doing 24 hours, and like, yeah, that was intense. So within the month, I absolutely will get to you. Just a small blurb telling you what I see. Also, if you feel comfortable and you feel like you have the permission, you can send me a picture of somebody, you know, the Queen of Wands, or the Queen of Swords, somebody or the King of Cups, you know, somebody that you might be feeling like you need a little bit more guidance on. I'm happy to do that as long as you feel like as long as you get their permission, or if it's a picture of the two of you together, that'd be even better, because then you don't necessarily need their permission. But what else do I need to mention? No filters, because that just screws it all up. Yeah, so I'm really looking forward to seeing your guys' faces. Also, what I'm asking is just to subscribe in return so that we have an energy exchange. I'm really excited about reading for you guys. And yeah, I hope you guys have an amazing April, and I will see you in May, probably with a baby. So love you guys so much, and talk to you soon. Bye.